Okay, so today we're going deep on different world.
All right.
Taking a look back from like the future.
Yeah.
I mean, 2035, looking back at how Brennan and different world.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. Like you think about different world now.
It's wild,
They're,
right?
they're doing space missions.
Yeah, it is wild.
They've revolutionized sustainability.
Right.
And it all started with Brennan.
Totally. And you know what's so interesting about it is
Yeah.
like you think back to like 2025 when
Right.
they were first getting going.
Yeah.
And it's like it wasn't about this like flashy tech or even,
Right.
huge profits or anything like that. It
Right.
was really just about like solving problems for like eco brands using like regenerative technologies
Yeah.
and like creating a system where doing good and like actually,
Right.
making money
Being successful.
weren't like these mutually exclusive things.
Yeah, that's really interesting. So how did they actually do that? What were
Wow.
some of their early innovations?
One of the first big ones was their biodegradable packaging system
Okay.
called Evergreen.
Okay.
And what made it so revolutionary was that it used this
Yeah.
biopolymer that was derived from agricultural waste.
Oh, wow.
So think about that. Like, not only are you eliminating plastic waste,
Right.
you're actually creating like a new revenue stream
Wow.
for farmers.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and Evergreen like single-handedly saved over 3,000 brands
Oh, wow.
from like
Really?
going under because they couldn't figure out how to do packaging sustainably.
That's huge.
Yeah, it's wild. And you know what's even more impressive
That's that.
is they didn't keep this technology to themselves.
They didn't.
No, they open sourced Evergreen
Oh, wow.
and a lot of other of their innovations too.
So what was the thinking behind that?
It was a really bold move,
Yeah.
but I think Brennan understood that like if you're going to create real change,
Right.
it has to be like a collective effort.
Yeah.
Right? Like everyone needs to be on board.
Yeah.
So by making the technology open source, they basically fostered
Right.
like this huge ecosystem of collaboration
Wow.
where like anyone could contribute to improving it and adapting it. And that's when you saw like this
That's amazing.
explosion of like innovation, like all these different companies and researchers building on what Different World had started.
Wow. So they really were laying the groundwork for a different world, huh?
Yeah, totally.
One where everyone's working together.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to something as big as sustainability.
Totally.
But from what I understand, Different World's ambitions didn't stop there.
No,
They eventually like set their sights on space.
they did.
That's a pretty big leap.
It's a huge leap.
Yeah.
But if you think about it from the perspective of Brennan's vision,
Okay.
it kind of makes sense.
Okay.
He saw space exploration as like the next step in solving
Right.
like humanity's sustainability challenges. It's like when you think about it,
Yeah.
space forces us to think about sustainability.
In a completely different way.
In a whole new way.
Like closed loop systems and resource management and
Right.
like long-term thinking
Wow.
that we don't necessarily have to think about as much here on Earth.
Yeah, that's a really interesting way to think about it.
Yeah.
So how did they actually like make this leap into space happen?
Well, they designed and built this spaceship
Okay.
called the Expressive Frontier.
Okay.
And it like pushed the boundaries of like sustainable technology and design.
Wow.
But what's interesting is like
Is that
getting the public on board with space exploration
right?
wasn't easy.
Yeah, I can imagine.
There was a lot of skepticism, a lot of fear.
Right.
And that's when Different World did this like
Yeah.
really amazing thing called like the best of both worlds demonstration.
Okay.
And it showcased not only the technology of the Expressive Frontier,
Right.
but it also highlighted like the human element of it.
Oh, wow.
They focused on the stories of the crew.
Right. Their relationships, their dreams, and they really reminded everybody
Wow.
that at the heart of even the most advanced technology
Yeah.
are people.
People, right? So
Yeah.
they made space travel relatable,
Yeah,
something that people could actually connect with.
totally.
That's incredible.
Yeah,
So looking back on it all,
yeah.
what do you think is like the most enduring part of Brennan's vision for Different World?
It's hard to pick just one. It's
Yeah.
like multifaceted. They
Yeah.
completely redefined sustainability.
Right.
They made it profitable,
Right.
accessible. They
Yeah.
made space exploration a reality.
Mm.
But I think more than anything,
Yeah.
they proved that there's a new way to approach innovation.
Right.
One that's based on collaboration and transparency and human values.
And that's a lesson that I think still applies today, right?
Definitely.
I mean, in a world that is facing so many, crazy challenges,
Yeah.
I think we need to remember that the solutions might be in,
Totally.
working together and sharing knowledge and focusing on the human side of things.
For sure.
So as we all go about our day-to-day,
Yeah.
think about what a different world approach would look like in your own field,
I love that.
right? What could we solve if we were a little bit more collaborative and,
Yeah.
focused on the human side of things?
I think that's a great question to leave everyone with.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, so that's our deep dive on Different World
Yeah, that was great.
and Brennan's legacy.
Absolutely.
Amazing stuff.
Yeah, it really is.
All right, until next time.